Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today I review the remake of the beloved 2008 Martyrs. Directed by the Goetz brothers and starring Troian, Bellisario, and Bailey Noble, Martyrs is about a girl named Lucy who is tortured and escapes from her captors and put in an orphanage. She befriends a girl named Anna, and they kind of grow up together. Lucy eventually finds her captors and seeks revenge. Well, this is a review about the remake of Martyrs. I will be making some associations throughout the review to its predecessor, The Martyrs of 2008 by Pascal Laugier, which I highly recommend you watch before you continue watching this review. Before we get on with things, I do want to let you know that I was one of the guys that was saying, hey, don't hate just because they are making a remake of Martyrs. Just because you loved it doesn't mean you have to hate that there's a remake of it. I mean, I said the same thing when Halloween was being made and Friday the 13th. So I was a huge advocate up until the week that I actually received a screener for this film. I went in with an open mind because I did love the original. That being said, this is going to be a pretty unconventional review as there wasn't a lot that I liked about this movie. Aside from the high production value, and it did have great cinematography. The cinematography was fantastic. The rest of the movie just wasn't very good. And that's from both a fan of the original as well as an open-minded reviewer going into this movie hoping for the best. I want to talk about the acting. The acting in this movie was subpar. And I know that Troian Bellisario has a huge following because she's known for Pretty Little Liars, and Bailey Noble for her role in True Blood. The acting from Lucy and Anna was completely robotic, and you didn't care about these characters. While Bailey Noble was a little bit better than Troian Bellisario, I really couldn't get into either of those characters. And I think fans of the original are really going to dislike this Americanized version of Anna and Lucy. Specifically because it takes all of their power away from them. All of the motivations from the original film do not exist in this remake. What does hold true is about the first 20 minutes. It's almost a shot-for-shot remake as the Goetz brothers get up to the shotgun scene where Lucy is exacting her revenge on her captors. That's about where the movie began to really stray from the original. Now I want to reiterate that I'm a fan of remakes going in, and that's controversial in itself. But this movie took all of the good stuff that everybody liked from Martyrs, ripped it out, and just gave us this like empty vessel of a movie that just had nothing worth watching. You didn't like the characters, you didn't care for the situations that they were put in, and there was no real climax to the film. To get into more of the spoiler territory, how it compares to the original, after the shotgun scene, we do have a feud with Lucy and her figurative demons, her inner demons, so to speak. And whereas the 2008 version, it was fantastic, it looked creepy. Well, in this movie, we have a very J-horror, like Ring style creature. They fight for about 10 seconds and they move on. Another huge issue with the story is the fact that Lucy does not kill herself like she does in the original. What made the original great is that we had almost two separate stories. We had Lucy's story and we had Anna's story, where we have Lucy who's been tortured, seeking revenge and fighting her inner demons and all that. And then we have Anna kind of looking further into it as some organization decides to find out what's on the other side through transcendence, and the only way to get that transcendence is through beating somebody to an inch of their life. This movie doesn't really have any torture. It just simply does not exist, which is completely gutting the original story and makes this story completely meaningless. It's as if the writer and director briefly looked at the storyboard for Martyrs, saw some key scenes, and developed an entire movie around it, neglecting to create a story for themselves. It's a completely useless film, and I have no idea why it was created because it's not for the fans of the original Martyrs, and it's too boring for your regular horror consumer. So I truly don't understand who this film was made for. It's not gonna get a return on its investment, and this is from Blumhouse, the guys who behind The Conjuring, Sinister, Insidious, and if anyone knows Blumhouse, they promote all of their projects. You know which project they didn't promote? This one. The remake of Martyrs has not been posted on Blumhouse official website one time. They haven't posted a trailer, they haven't posted any stills, they haven't posted on any of their social media about the remake of Martyrs. They don't want their name attached to this one. And it's for good reason. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this half a poorly skinned woman out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the remake of Martyrs. If you haven't seen this, don't watch it. There are links in the description, but I'd rather you watch the original if you haven't yet. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our reactions, reviews, and games of What Would You Do.